Patalo fatu ile pa ia male malo si tatu atu no ile nei tula o le aso. Malo sui fua maua. Mo lava si ile ve inga mal faftai ile atua. O tatu au dia mai fu ile nei vai aso fou. Ia le atua ia e lo fa ia tatu. Amerika Samoa foi. O se Amerika Samoa o le nu o tatalo. Tatalo lava Amerika Samoa. O le tatu Polokolama nei o le suinga ula ma le malo. Ia o nei Polokolama o se Polokolama e whaasalau atu ai. Ia mea o loo tutupu tonu o tatou malo. Ia mea o le a tutupu. Ai me se lava ia tatou tangaluenga. Ia ma walauria i foi ia whaatonu e su mai ma tatou taltala noa foi ma taltala noa foi po a foi me o tupu ia latou ma tangaluenga. O mo foi se ava no wha auro foi nei tai au. O tatou whaatasi ai ma le whaatonu i le Procurement e le sunga i a Fred Ledoux. Ia, o le ala ua ma whaatasi nei aso. Se tatou whatuwha i e foi, i ngā luenga foi a Procurement wa e te le foi a Fesidi a tangata si tatou atunu. Ia e tatou Procurement. Ma le whainga foi o latou ngā luenga. A wala wa ngā luenga i meo constructions ma me whapena o le a sau noa mai foi le sunga le whaatonu. I Polokolama o le arpa lea e lo whaasolo pea ia ngā luenga o arpa. A wala wa ia le whaalualunga i luma o le si tatou atunu. Ia malo so i fua maua i lau sunga le whaatonu. Whaftai foi o maua le awanoa o ta whaatasi e foi nei tu la. Ia awai e le maua se taimi e ta noa ia o tele lava o lo pisi ma ngā luenga foi a tatou malo. Ia ai me se ia Polokolama i o le arpa o lo pisi e ia lo sunga i le tau mawhai lava ia alu le mu ma alu lunga o le policy ma alu lunga ia le leima ma saunga le mu ia tatou ngā luenga. Ia whai e sau noanga, Fred.
Ia, whaftai lava mo le awanoa, ia whaftai lava mo le whenua inga. Me se le, pa ia ma malu tatou atanu. E whaatulo atu fo i le au whangaluenga le atua, au tofia le atua o wāre, whata langa o tō ngā lue ai, ia me se fo i le tatou atanu, mauna whaalupe, le toi o iswhamtalanga, whaatulo atu fo i le tawhitolu an Malo, ia whionga Kowana City, ia me se fo i le Lieutenant Kowana, ia tainane fo i le mauta maulunga, ia whio ailo, whionga le Prestene, ia masu Prestene, le whaangalo fo i le mauta sui, ia whio ailo, whionga le fonga whetalai, ia masu fonga whetalai, ia me se fo i le tatou Whamsim City, ia tulona ngā kako Malo, ia me se fo i le atunu. Ia, Malo whaftai fo i mo le nei avanoa matangofio tā whaatasi e le nei aso. Yeah. Thank you very much for having me here. It's an opportunity to discuss a lot of the ongoings or the happenings of procurement as well as our ARPA project. So I'm very happy to be here and share everything that's been going on with our people and also, you know, with everybody that's watching the show today.
Fred, can you briefly talk about the programs of ARPA, how it's going right now with the work that's going with different departments?
Yeah. Whaftai lava mo le whafsiri. So as of right now, you know, o le focus on kako Malo especially for the governors, are a lot of our ARPA projects that's going on. DOH. So there's three entities, right, that has, you know, ARPA projects. So it's ASG government, right? It's LBJ and ASPA. So I'm going to talk specifically about ASG for today. So Department of Health, we have so many ARPA projects going on. Mele lako behavioral health le fai gaming aid, wa umanga award. Ia ko clinics le I Amouli, Maleone, lako clinic le o I Aunuu, o fola le I Manua. Yeah, and make sure la le whaakali lava le solicitation na le Dementia Center le ko giki a release. O isi fo ia kakumukanga nuenga re o maua lako ARPA funds. Ia per Port Administration. Le tō tana I mai e bako kalaiva mai I le wafu. Le la makaranga nuenga ki lea nga I le wafu. Ia me se foi o I le airport. i le parking lot infrastructure le wa yai le kongkalaki. Ia le fo ia nga yoi fo. O isi la ia o kako blokeke le lava le whaakari a kuai o kako EOB. Lea wa manguia le wha moe moe a le ofisa le ko vanga i whankong. Ia, wa makanga move ese o maia ia makanga luenga mo ofisa i le EOB. Whaakari a kene kuai whafo kako solicitation a makalonga nga whafo kako EOB. O ngai nga luenga le ia i kene ngai.
E whainga whai so noanga pa whamalamalama fo isi tatu atunu le process o menge o constructions la i ngā luenga ia a fo le wanga luenga i lako bids.
Yeah, tai lava mo facility. So the bidding process for procurement is very straightforward. You know, first off, we release the solicitation. The solicitation may be out for like 2, maybe 30 days and things like that. And, you know, everybody has an opportunity to bid on these projects.
Yeah.
Everybody has an opportunity to bid on it. And once everybody submits their bids, it goes to what's called the source evaluation board. These source evaluation boards are people in Kokongo and ASG that are professionals at their job, especially our engineers and then our customers. So when I say customers, ASG departments are my customers. Okay, so if I refer to them as because they are my customers, I help them get their bids out and I do all their purchasing and all their procurement needs. So after that, feeding the source evaluation board, then it's time for recommendation for the awards. And that's where I come in and, you know, I do a review on everything, on what transpired in the source evaluation board. And then I make my recommendation before I submit my findings and my award. So the process process it's very transparent. I'm trying to get people's trust into the program because before there wasn't. Office of Procurement didn't have a social media page. Now we do. We're almost there finalizing our website so that way we can post our solicitation on there. Before, Ngarkasial Avenue nga post a solicitation and that was on Samo News. But since I came on board, I've used Samo News, I've used our Facebook page for KBCK and ASG. So ole mesidi laban nga do ye keming is about making sure everyone sees the solicitation so that way they have an opportunity to bid on it.
Let's go back to the board. Okay. Who are on the board? Do you have Public Works? I know Public Works should be on it.
So the source evaluation board is people that are subject matter experts in construction. So we have Public Works that's in there, right? So for example, let's say DOH, right? So if DOH submits an application for contracts, they have their people that's on the board. But then we bring on Public Works, and we get some help from the engineers for port administration. So the board is very, we have all these professionals that's on top of it. You know, there's 5 members on the board, including my contract specialist that's in there to facilitate the board. And then after that, board. If my contract specialist out, hey chief, so I need you to take care of it. So as of right now, it's a transparent process. It's the process that we have. And I'm fine tuning it without going into details on how it works because I don't want to give out those details. But process you give
so mo la le fai unga o construction sia makula ko lako bid si kongu e kong e vai sunga e vai sunga ile bidding mambia o mga my wife. Let's talk about the bonds, okay? Because that's the other thing. Kaua why kaua le yayo le bondi kung o construction companies ngai se fainga fai so nga mayo bonds. O ai kakaunga yai o ko inga constructions they don't need to.
So the bonds le so no mai tinaya fatima o le performance and payment bonds. Leo ke karungo sa o hua tunu o bonds here. It fa maungia mai for a very long time. Mele ele leiai because it's o leiko kongo kako code.
O
When I
kulafongo.
leiko kongo kulafongo kako.
Yoi.
So when I came on board, when I came on board, you know, my focus was for ku le agenda ma le intent at kuvanga, which is or kako ARPA project. However, as a leader, when you come in an organization, you take time to evaluate what's going on. So my assumption was, "Ola bond umanga duenga," right? That was my assumption. But when after my 90-day evaluation, my 4th month going in, I realized e keno pro keki re ko kongor kako maru. Ele o pandinga. And this is a practice that's been done from
The past.
years and years and
Yeah.
years.
And it's not good.
No.
No.
So, however, you know, they did away from the bond, but what they did was they put what's called a retainage, a 20% retainage. Meaning, for that, I put in, I submit no pay app, ka ofi the Malo duas full percent. So, I'm going to talk about the bond. A lele bond. So, the bonds is an insurance that the government has the best value in kako kongkalake, which is true. However, a whaire whaia ngā ruenga o ka ngaka i o e whaai ngā ruenga. For example, like the project managers or our engineers, if they don't go and review the jobs and do compliance on the jobs, it ira siya ngā bond. You see what I'm saying? Because now yes. Until they, you know, and now what needs to happen now, and that's exactly what I said in going forward. Every job now is 100% payment and performance bond.
Yeah.
Because we have to. So it is, you know, any construction job over $100,000 or bond because the policy and the thing is, I don't fault my staff. You know,
Yeah.
I don't fault them. Because let's be honest, you know, let's be honest, you know, the office, you know, people, you know, politicize it, you know,
Yeah.
politicize it, procurement, and they shouldn't, you know, procurement, that's straightforward, man, procurement, if you want to change the law, change the law, but right now, it is so we're gonna, you know, stick with it, and, you know, another thing I want to talk about too is my responsibility as the CPO. Responsibility. Look for the best cost for the government. Okay, it's the people's money. So my job is to be the steward of our money, be the steward of the people's money. And the second thing is, as a CPO, I have to find the best value.
Yeah.
If I get more or the best value, then I'm not doing my job. If I'm not getting the best cost, being the steward of the people's money or the best value, then I'm not doing my job. So those are the primary responsibilities of the CPO.
Yoi. E ka ua mele o le bond, a director.
Yes.
Because ai se me whale kongu mai le construction le anga whai ke iu war or something. Ngā la io. Le mo sa me mea ila te tulo wa le whawhonga anga te toa tunu. Sa me mea ila le Malo. Talu ai la, ko ele se pone ka vai le se e sa o e a o.
But even with the bond, we still have to do our job. So,
Shaki constant.
Man, for the mga ye no fight upon. Ya wadwe lalo retain its fees. O de koe luas full percent. Kaulang fia ka ko kalaki. The wadu the retain its fee lalo full percent. So now they're getting their money more up front now than before. So not only we're gonna bond them, but now they la mo wala ko kupe de ko fa 20%. Adela kipi mai lalo full percent. Yeah, so you know, even though o kampagi they're not our customers, but our vendors are our partners. Because they're doing the work for us, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we, you know, or procurement and the department's responsibility that we get the best value. So, you know, it's a give or take, you know, with when it comes to it. So I'm hoping that the vendors understand that. Up front.
Yoi. Mai kaunga nga wha lei i ngai construction sia le la iki I le tāua o le ia sa o le whainga o le processing o o ngā luenga ngei e ave I ngā luenga ia lewa umanga ngā fo I ngā whaa. Like DOH. Yeah, la construction company e whai. And that has to all come to you first.
Yes.
Before e approve ai o ngā lue le construction I le ngā luenga, right?
Yep.
Okay, o le process la o bids ngei director e la ko uma bids kongu lo office I lunga le board.
Yep.
Ngā alu lo la I o lo board le e vava ai uma la ia bids pe a. So you go to the lowest bid.
So it all depends on when it comes to so for invitation for bids, it's about lowest or no, not the lowest responsible bidder. It if up lowest bid you know, your bid has to be responsible, meaning ole kalafia ngai lo bid ma the scope of work la ku wa it if up lowest bid lo we mo lo it if up has to be a responsible bid. But when it comes to what's called request for proposals, now that's a different solicitation type. No winga menga la mga umako e submit my vendors la ko ia proposals e kalafia ngai ma the job. So the cost goes into effect, but it's not the primary purpose of that solicitation. The cost it's about the proposal there. Mike, so those are the things that, you know, vendors le kimi.
Why ya why awole bid kele lalo ai ke loa ele umal nga luenga ele
yes
ile kupele leo boleo bid wale ma wala loa kaluai mga oil nga luenga ai alu nga luenga umal kupele fa fefela alfa umanga ole restaurant nga luenga then what then they come running back to you fa pe amela bole laval kupe I need 1 point some more million if a umal nga luenga but you bid for the lowest bid.
So you know, before I think that was happening before but I truly give credit to the staff. You know, makame le kofinge deputy director Sapi because they've done this for a very long time and they understood, you know, the difference between lowest price, you know, lowest bid and lowest responsible bid. So you know, I believe that, you know, Sapi and, you know, and Martinaya Susana and also our contract staff will that's what they explained during the pre-bid meeting. So we are for if I'm out the staff. Always communicate. I always communicate. Exactly. So that's why the pre-bid meetings while the umaya information we are contract staff. No stone left unturned. Everything's competition. No. The best thing about our solicitation right now, it's the cost savings. Ever since I came on board, when we put everything out on bids and everything like that, all this competition is coming in. I've seen between 20 to 30% cost savings. Projects and that's way, you know, and that's, you know, that's not only saving us all this ARPA money, but also ARPA director extra money. So, I mean, of course, that is the intent but at the same time too. You know, I'm the steward of the people's money. So if I could save money from having this competition, right, having all this thing bidded out, that's why the CPO. Because for the taxpayers, it's not, you know, it's not free money, but at least we have this money. So they will encumber but we have to save money. So that way, $20 million le plokeki $20 million so you know and then right now we are a time of plenty but after ARPA what's going to happen afterwards?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So these processes left for gaming, these processes left for gaming. If I want why lumangai. So, that is the whole intent of this thing, right? Because umaloku per ARPA, and then the only money that we have is our CIP funds and any grants made the Malo. So we have to, to make sure that chefe coupe de orga ko fanga. Yeah.
E mangaya la o ka ngofongo a kung whalongolongo leo ka o ka malamala ko i foi wai. O le asa wa ai i construction sia le wa i tato atunu. E ka o kere i construction wa i hanga i construction la i kila ka o fai maya. And some of them lai ka o fai foi li e mongi la ko ngaluenga al malo but pela lo saunga malo i ngaluenga ma e kakau o ngā whai ia muli ka ia i kulafongo al procurement. So o ngai kampangila e makupe ala lako pizzi ko.
Of course. There's so many I think since I've been in the job, even if you're a brand new company. Right now is the time to submit bids. So there's a misconception if I'm no. There's so many companies awards. So all these small companies that's coming up. But my advice to all the small companies is because now before gaming o ora fa yo kuskusinga o a company re umaranga e fa yo kuskusinga go file. So that record it continue as long as I'm the CPO, I'm gonna keep track of your record.
If you have a good record of finishing a good job.
Yeah, well, and then for we nga fa marsi au aku.
Nga mo wala ayo nga luenga wala ilo lai fai me ma fai me mai ai. Umaloa lawa se bid po se e saule final decision mai lo sunga pe o oe malo board if faia le a foi le fai ungole.
Yeah, so after the
lo foi la o lead director ya wa isianga isi ngai kangaka ska ko akupe ya o ko vanga le fai o ko vanga le mea le sa o ai I law department en whainga whaiso sau noa ngā fo I le ngā wha o ai
whamaruru a foi le tunu upa ngai po muinga ngā le kakuangu le ka sao koa e re ima se kala ko vanga whapea whamai a kia ue ave se ngā ruenga se isi. And that's what I really respect about him because no wa mailanga professional courtesy a kia whaina o ngā ruenga. Nobody e re ima se isi influence ngā u whainga o kako ngā ruenga. O ngā ruenga re whai o re whai an maka ngā ruenga. Have to follow the process. And that's something that I really give credit to the governor because he's never once said, o ko e venga ruenga vanga ia, o ko e venga ruenga vanga ia. Pauar kala ko vangana whamayau a lofa ngai kangaka ia malako pisingisi laiki ia. And then, guess what? O lau kia lofa iau ko umare whai pisingisi nanga le put everything out to bid. E ringi meo sole sourcing.
In the right way.
Ringi meo sole sourcing. Ngā re rua o pro keki ranga sole source. Lau sole source mulmuli o e muamua o le kako ofisa lea
and
it met all the qualifications for a sole source justification. Lo so source lo lua le lunga Mount Lava re wa ave ya makano dao. It was very specific. Could I bid it out? Of course I could. But on the timeline, there's certain factors lenga I had to review to ensure that I follow the process and I follow our law. The way this work environment right now, because nobody bothers me.
And you're tough. I see that.
For me, a lot of staff, my procurement staff, you guys are the heroes in this. You guys have been through so much with past administration and past leaders that you guys do the work. But now that you have me now, I back you guys up. Whamai ko inga, o kia lofa e lau staff, a lofa e tunu, ia, o nga re whai, o o ringa duenga le fai mo le alofa, and I really, appreciate my staff for, they didn't even know me,
Yoi.
but they got on a bandwagon and they said, you know what, let's push all these
Yeah.
projects out. So I'm very appreciative of
Yeah.
that. So
I take my hat off to Isio deputy, Sapi.
yeah,
She's been in there for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So she knows the ins and outs, and you've got a good person there to be by
Yeah.
your side to
Tinaya Sapi, she's been a deputy for a very long time. So her responsibility lea. So I have got approval from the governor. Whai deputy se lua. Le rawa tu lai mai e Tinaya Susana Tau. Yeah,
Oh,
si tina foi. She's been there for 35 years, over 35 years, as a purchasing and contract specialist. So wa mga iare, wa mga iare mga duenga, malosia mga duenga meru
Like you are kafkomilkayao, kalo ako like smile every morning. When you have that good feeling in the morning to go to work, you look forward to going to work because you have good workers that will support you. Ilo nga duenga ay kaya kula ilo sunga o faavang ngo fo ngai kemi taua e ta tu fa ai fo in fa so ai fo ilo nga duenga fenga ta o lo tu o tu lo sunga ile tau fainga lava ia satisfy uma ta so tangata ai fo fesili pelo sa unoanga ia o lai lau i website ale fo wala wa tu tonu to office ma fesili e po lo sunga po le deputy for your deputy nga ko luas ke yo sapi ma Susana
Yep, Susana. Yep.
E pe e si mea lo va ya tu uti ta te mi
Yeah.
fa tonu pe e se fautuanga po se la pata inga fo i si tatu atu nu ai le I fa o mata Polokolama.
Yeah, whawhakaila wa mora vangoa ringi ka au mako fia fo I rewa ngoa ware whamamamanga o le mako ia makanga duenga. We're very appreciative, and we're trying to do something where everybody has an opportunity to conduct business with the government. O le ala nga the procurement, but at the same time too, we have to protect the interest of our government. So best value or the best cost, that's what my job is.
Yeah.
And to be the steward of our money. So that's the mentality that I always had since I got into procurement. So, and I try to do that every day, and
you feel good about it when you do something good.
I think getting that advice from the Senate, Makako Kamada Tunuu, about doing the work, and it's very for me it's very rewarding.
With love and caring.
Yeah, because now I serve the military, I serve the federal government, but now I'm here serving our people. So that's basically what I'm very happy about, and I'm so blessed to be part of procurement. That whakakaya for Kovanga, Lieutenant Kovanga, for selecting me as the CPO. So
yeah, I think they made the right decision.
Whaftai lava. Thank you. Yeah, whaftai lava mo le noa matango
Yeah, whaftai fo'i mo le awanoa fo'i we savalvali mai e ta tufa e fo'i mtata noi fo'i ilo department. Te le lavanga luenga le procurement e fai tolo pulo ilo sunga fatonu I labalo umsai. Ma o te loa fo'i o le atari o le atua. Ia e maua uma mai ia thoughts ma mea lelei mai le atua e whai e longa luenga. Ai ave ia umasui o le whatonu o le KVCK, ia Aaron Hall. Ia mo le whaapa no lo te mea ta whatase nei tu lao le aso. Tutuila mamanua, ia o tato Polokolama na nei aso mana ia o tau timu mai nei aso ai any friend.
Blessings from heaven.
Blessings from heaven. I know God is so good. Ai whai lava wa e se upu ua le tau tamari I lau whafonga anga tutuila mamanua ia whamangalo mai maua. Ia ma whamanu ia atu le atu ai tina, ma ta mama atua olo nofo mai fale, ma mai moa mai tato Polokolama. So soifua.